nobody. Hey,
Yeah.
Nobody wants.
Yeah.
Houston, we've had a problem.
They always leave the heat on. Where your friend expect for you to leave home. Family it test you, blood pressure you to squeeze arms. Yeah. I was blessed to inherit lyrics my parents had to serve in my face. If the industry ain't gon' profit, they urge you to wait. I'm in a game where people working for you, burn you for cake. You see them folks at your lowest and they can't serve you a plate. But God showed us through Moses, our staff turning to snakes. I was born to blow and convey. Niggas is Warren Buffett while we warring over buffet. The sacrament is begun. These rappers ain't as passionate as we come. They rather sip the activist than be one. They falling for fame. If you don't know that Christ is Lord, then you lost in the game. Don't get ahead of yourself like Rick Ross in his chain. But who am I? I'm just a Christian soul. Trying to get my point across.
Yeah.
Yep,
You know
I'm playing this.
When you get off that motherfucking plane.
Welcome to Atlanta, baby.
You never been to Atlanta.
Yes, yes, yes.
Welcome to New Atlanta.
We're back, baby.
Get that new Atlanta,
Mama.
baby.
Now, the reason I'm playing this, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, welcome to the Library Podcast. My name is Victor Ihezukwu. We got Nelson here. We got Juwan here. We have Jared here. And before we get into anything else, we're welcomed back by Juwan Greene. Round of applause. Juwan's back. Juwan has been to Alabama, New Atlanta, Killeen, Dallas.
Back to
Juwan has maxed out his Southwest Airlines stubs. Juwan, how's it feel? You moved back?
Nah, man, I'm just chilling, bro. Just simple traveling.
Now, everyone's wondering, okay, well, why haven't you guys shot a podcast in like 2 weeks? Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Juwan.
Man, it's not my fault, man.
Juwan, so I don't know. What city did you like the most? Montgomery? Bankhead?
Easily Atlanta, man.
This guy, Juwan, has literally been pimping all over the world for the past 2 weeks. I don't know if he's been to work. I don't know if he's been anywhere else, but he's been flying across through Southwest Airlines. So good to have Juwan back. And good to have everybody back, to be very, very honest. A Library Podcast, once again, volume number 3. And we're going to get right into it, actually. It's been a long week. Been a long 2 weeks, actually. Kind of missed you guys.
Hey, it was good.
All right, so we had a lot going on, music-wise, entertainment-wise, and life-wise. So we're going to go ahead and start off with our live segment with Juwan Greene. And before we do start off, ladies, you're probably going to hate us for this, but we don't care. All right, Juwan, take it away.
All right, this week on the Library Podcast, we're going to go into double standards. Now, for the individuals who don't know what a double standard is, it's a rule or principle that is unfairly applied in different ways to different people or groups. So, something recently happened to a celebrity, specifically Jennifer Hudson. Now, if you aren't familiar with that story, her and David Otunga, boyfriend, fiance, I don't know what they are, they broke up after he confronted her, claiming she was secretly dating music producer Mally Music. I don't know who that guy is.
No. Mally Music's kind of live.
Yes.
He's a really, really immensely talented producer.
All right. Well, I guess Hudson denies having any relationship with the producer, but Otunga believes Hudson and Mally Music were having a secret affair for months before the confrontation. Now, if we rewind a couple weeks back, Kevin Hart, got accused and got caught cheating on his wife, and now Jennifer Hudson is getting flamed up from every direction about this. So I just wanted to know how you guys felt about that.
Jared, you go first because I got some shit to say.
Yeah, but is she really getting flamed up? I mean, I haven't heard so many people put their energy into the situation. So I'm like, because when Kevin Hart did it, oh man, the whole Twitter world, IG world, the whole social media just went in shams. Like, oh my gosh, Kevin. But for her, it's kind of like, brush the shoulders off. Oh well.
Nah, it's the opposite, son.
She's getting flamed like that. I haven't seen nothing.
Man, I think so.
She's not getting flamed at all. And to be honest, Jennifer Hudson, I got some stuff for you to be very honest on. Yep. We got Oxford now, so I'm going ham. Jennifer Hudson, you are foul. You are very, very foul. And I don't think anybody's showing this enough attention. You guys clowned Kevin Hart night and day. You did everything to make sure Kevin Hart doesn't have another movie again. And he's still coming back with hits with The Rock and all of them. Y'all did everything to make Kevin Hart look crazy. And now Jennifer Hudson cheats on her man. And nothing moves. She still got an album dropping pretty soon, probably. Still probably gonna do numbers. So I'm trying to wonder why.
See, I think the confusing thing about it is Kevin Hart actually admitted his wrongdoing. You know, whenever he put a video up there saying like, "Hey, you know, put him, his kids, and his family in a bad predicament."
I thought he was G for that.
I'm saying that's a good thing, but nah.
Yeah,
I honestly thought that was very mature.
Yeah,
you know?
I thought he was pretty G for that. Jennifer Hudson needs to make a video too,
or a song or something.
First of all, and I know what people are going to say. They're going to be like, "Well, Kevin Hart's a bigger figure than Jennifer Hudson is." So, like women, you got to be accountable too. I don't want to hear that. I do not want to hear that. Every time a man cheats, he ain't this, he ain't that. He was always this, he was always that. Okay, now ladies, stand up. Stand up for yourselves, ladies, because I ain't buying it.
I lucky think it's the double standard, you know, just in life in general. Like when a dude cheats, it's World War II. But when a girl cheats, it's like, you know, I mean, she had a reason for doing it.
But no, I don't like that. Because what's the reason?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The reason probably sucks too, man. I don't want to hear that. Like, Jennifer Hudson, we need a video from you ASAP. If Jennifer Hudson if she don't have a video at least by Tuesday, I'm never listening to another Jennifer Hudson song again.
See, Vic
I never was listening to one, so shoot.
Hey, I take that back about Jennifer Hudson getting flamed up. That was obviously just myself flaming her up in my head. I'm scrolling on Twitter and like I don't see anything at all.
No one cares.
I don't see. It's so like somebody was like, my timeline is pretty quiet, you know, for this whole situation. Because if you think about it, it's kind of passed over already.
A little bit, but not. People still flaming Kevin Hart, and that was like a month ago. So yeah, I'm non's even buying that. Ladies, what's up? What's up? Because we was hearing you whenever you was talking about, his side chick ugly anyway, blah blah blah. But no, where you at now? Come on, Jennifer Hudson, y'all be singing her songs. Y'all be singing all her songs. I know y'all love Jennifer Hudson. Come on now, but we gotta keep it G. We got to keep it all the way a buck.
Come on, Dream Girls.
Come on, Dream Girls. I ain't watching that thing no more. Jennifer Hudson is crazy. And that's the crazy thing. Nelson was just pointing to it. That double standard thing is wild. And I feel like, do y'all accept the double standard, or do you kind of erase it whenever you're dealing with the opposite sex?
Man, honestly, I think it's a lighter sentence on men. It's a lighter sentence on women, not men. Men get fried. You know, every day I see something about a man not being nothing. You know, trash. And I think that Jennifer Hudson should have got flamed up so bad, flamed up way worse. I'm talking about every media outlet there is, like getting flamed up because they did it to Kevin Hart, tried to ruin this man's career.
I mean, I feel like it's just something that we have to just really point out because, in my opinion, Kevin Hart, I mean, the way he got caught was worse, obviously, with the girl pretty much extorting him, you know, and saying, hey, look, I have this video of you and if you don't give me, he got extorted. At first she asked for like $1 million, then she ended up asking for like 10 mil. So he was like, nah, you're not going to. Listen, Ma, you're not gonna play me like that. So I mean, at the end of the day, it was a bigger loss on his part. That's why he had to come out and do what he had to do. But at the end of the day, I feel like, nah, ladies, stand up. And this double standard thing is a big deal to me because I feel like when it comes to double standards, we do get a lot of flack as men, but at the same time, women can't do a lot of stuff, boy. Women can't do a lot of stuff.
Like what?
It's life, though.
Man, I don't know, bro.
There's a lot of stuff that men can't do either, though.
Name them.
I mean, it's stuff that I wouldn't want to do regardless, but I'm just saying, though, like, you know, the double standards, like, I understand the double standards. As long as it's, like, it has nothing to do with, like, success in, like, you know, the real world, like, you know, as far as, like, getting a job or something, you know what I'm saying, or just being treated fairly, then, of course, you know. Yeah. But, like, the small things, like, let me see something that's, like, very simple. What's the double standard that's, like, very simple?
The whole phase.
That's not simple. That's actually pretty complex.
What you mean?
To start off light, let's go double standard. Let's just go like, no, that's actually gender roles. That wouldn't even be right. No, we could dive into the whole phase. That's fine. We could start off light with that and then work our way up. So remember when you were in let's go middle school, right? Now define what that was in middle school. If she had even probably. A girl who kissed a lot of guys like in the 6th grade, she was definitely a hoe.
Okay. No, but so,
Yeah, definitely.
because like middle school time.
If she made out with like more than 3 guys in the 6th grade, she was wilding.
You feel me? Because most people not getting their first kiss to like 7th, 8th grade anyway.
Well, we gotta talk about our generation. I don't know about now.
No. Now they're getting busy. They're getting busy during homeroom in the back alley.
During nap time and daycare.
Oh man, playing house.
No, but that is a big deal all the way up to high school. I remember the first time I was like in the 7th grade and I heard somebody had sex for the first time, and I was just like, "Whoa, she's a slut."
So like, I was like, bro, you're having sex? Like, because the thing is, like, bro, like, I'm not even like in 7th grade, bro. Like, I didn't even really know what sex was. Like, I knew what sex was, but I didn't know the ins and outs. I just knew the little video that they showed us at school about puberty and stuff.
It was crazy.
So sex was fairly new to me. I'm like, y'all having sex?
But at the same time, we crucified her for doing that. But then the dude, we looked at the dude like, we was like,
Yo,
this
he
dude
doing it.
is
Yeah, he's doing it.
Yo, I gotta start hanging with him. Like,
Hey, shout out to Alex Gonzalez, bro. He was lit, boy. First colony middle school, he was lit. My boy, we found out he was banging. We said, "Whoa, this guy has to be the president of this middle school." Yo,
it's only right, man.
So even till like college. College is a big one too.
Oh,
college bad. If you've been with. Can't even throw a number out. You almost got me, women. I almost did it. Ain't getting me.
No, but
if you've been with a certain amount of people, then you're looked at as, oh no, she's the campus hoe or stuff like that. And hoe is such a dirty word to use. Can we think? I want to think of another word.
Promiscuous.
Yeah,
there you go.
There
Exactly.
you go. Snaps.
Promiscuous. Yeah, that's a good one.
Snaps.
Yeah, I like my job, man. I don't want to say no.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's such a dirty word. But she's looked at as promiscuous, and that's a problem. But we all accept it, though.
Yeah, to an extent.
Accept it. How do we accept it?
No. You run with the double standard. Like, so if you hear that, oh, she's been with blang, 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 and blang, you're like, oh.
You know what's crazy? I'm actually okay with you exploring yourself. Just do not let me find out.
Yo, yeah, because
don't let me find out, man. It's like, because this is one thing that me and one of my homeboys always talk about. When girls go through college, you know, they just having their fun, exploring themselves, talking to a bunch of different guys. And when they get out of college and they end up talking to an individual who doesn't know about their past, we call that having a clean retirement.
That's live.
No, and I feel what Juwan say, because like in college, you're finding yourself as well. So, you need to date people. You need to know what you like and what you don't.
Who said date?
Well, I mean, no. See, the thing is, when you're talking to somebody, that's considered dating.
I mean, yeah, you're still learning.
Yeah, like I'm not talking about it as a boyfriend and girlfriend, but you need to date people. You need to talk to different types of people. Like, you need to know what you mesh with and what you don't mesh with, So, I mean, I understand, like, and then on top of that, it's just, like, not judging people. Like, if you do what you want to do, like, you out there, you're being promiscuous, that's fine, I don't care, like, as long as you're safe, as long as you're healthy, that's cool, just like Juwan said, don't let me find out, I don't want to hear it,
Yeah, and also I just think that at the same time, I feel like we give them a lot of slack for that as well. Like, we give them a lot of slack for just being free, just being open-minded, and just kind of, being themselves, really, because that's, at the end of the day, that's all you're trying to do in college.
But you want to know why we give them the slack, though? Because
Why?
It's not more so like, man, you out here just messing with this guy, messing with that guy. It's kind of like, we're kind of like disappointed. Like, man, I expect better from you. Like, I don't expect for you to be like being promiscuous with 20, 30 dudes. Like, do your thing, but like, geez, that's a lot. That's how we be feeling. So it's more of a disappointment thing instead of just.
Look, I'm gonna have to use this Drake quote one time. I said, I hope that you don't get known for nothing crazy, because no man ever wants to hear no stories about his lady. Look, like Juwan said, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to be with somebody who's been with everybody. Exactly. And like you just said, so you're like when you find out who she's messing with, kind of like,
That's my boy.
Like, that kind of hurts. My boy.
See, that's
like,
how, like when people be asking that question of would you ever be with somebody who's been with a lot of people, I feel like dudes care more if they know the guys.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if
Without
you
question.
you know what I'm saying, like if she did a thing with like let's say 10 dudes, but you don't know none of the dudes, and you possibly
good.
would never meet the dudes ever. You know, we got to be mature. We got to be adults about the situation. It's like that's cool.
But that's a big. Okay, here's the question that I always
if she
have.
did it with 10 dudes, then it's like, man, you know, like 3 or 4 of them, then it's like,
Okay.
because dudes can
Pause.
easily, you know, we're afraid about our, like, you know how dudes
Our
get
reputation.
Reputation, and you know how dudes, we just don't want to be that dude that other dudes talk about.
Like the thing is, man, I can't have one of my boys having a one up on me. Just in case we argue, he'd be like, man,
Yes.
he'd be like,
Hey, bro.
It hurts.
Hey, you ever see her do that though?
Oh,
But would you ever go as a friend? Would you ever go that down low?
It depends
I
on
would
how.
never go.
No,
that
you
down.
would never go that low.
I would never
But
do
if
that.
homie hit you with a
If
right
some stuff
hook
come down,
and your back is against the wall, you're like, hey, you know, hey, you my homie, but
bro, you know, I'm
But
immediately
you could
breaking
get
up.
flamed.
yeah.
Immediately breaking up that instant. Like, that's a wrap.
Okay, but here's a question. Define no. Because there is some people that I'd probably be like, I know him, but he's not. I have a rule. All right. My rule is, number one, the dude can't be in my phone book, and he can't be someone who I would invite to my wedding. Solid?
so more like an acquaintance.
No, I don't want to know you. I don't want to know you at all. Like, I don't want to know you. I don't even want to.
Don't even
no,
dab
nothing.
me up. Like, if I
Like,
dab you
I
up,
don't even want to know who you are, what your skin color is, none of that, man.
No. Now, I would prefer that, obviously. But because there's going to be some girls that you probably meet in life that probably won't tell you. Because I don't even ask. I don't even be asking, to be honest.
Because I don't want my feelings get hurt, honestly.
And ladies, that's Juwan just said the realest thing. Real men won't tell you that. They'll just act like they're trying to keep it G. Oh, I don't even ask, you know, them type of questions. But really, we don't ask because we don't want our feelings to be hurt.
we find out, we like,
I'm crushed.
Yo, because some things you just can't get over. You be like, damn, it's so tight, but
Like,
you
it's-
did that for real?
Like, it's good meaning.
you can't move forward. You can't move.
Scumbag.
Hey,
Why did you do that?
real talk, you can't move forward at all. Like, you're really stuck there. Like, you keep that perception on her for the whole time.
You
It's
can
kinda
move. You
bad.
can move forward. It's just a little toxic. It's a little toxic.
Man,
It's toxic, but
the only
it's
way-
gonna still be in the back of your mind though on some real stuff
easy.
though. Like, it's never gonna leave,
So, okay,
bro.
Vic, you're
She gotta
saying,
be
you
bad.
saying he can move forward, Vic. Okay, perfect scenario for you. Yeah, let's say, I'm not even gonna say your best friend, but like one of your real close friends. You know what I'm saying?
I can't do that.
Okay, but what if you and the girl y'all gel, y'all connect, everything's perfect, and then you find
I
yourself
can't.
to
I
love
can't
her,
do that.
and then
Like
you find
anybody.
out-
Okay, pause. Anybody in this room? No. Anybody? Y'all all know my close group of friends.
Yeah.
No. But if it's somebody, hey, I met him one time, just off the block, and I see him occasionally, not
what,
really.
What if you and the girl y'all gel real good, and then you find out that she had a pass with
my bro?
a quick pass with one of your
No,
bros. So,
no.
but you love her though, like you really really dig her.
Nah.
Oh, that's just the L I'm gonna have to take, man. Honestly, I'm gonna have to be
really?
like, I mean, I can't do it. That's my, that's
You
my,
gotta take
that's my.
that.
First of all, man, that's something that she should speak up about, especially if she probably knows that y'all are.
But there's
close.
a lot of girls.
What-
I'll give
that don't know.
I'll give a lot of girls some credit. There's a lot of
No,
girls that probably
women
don't know.
women are nosy, man. They know who
but
your
if
friends
you,
are.
if you're one of them type of dudes that know a lot of people, but she might just think of it as, okay, they probably say what's up to each other. They're probably like mild associates, but they not besties. So I don't feel like I should just, you know what I'm saying?
Feel threatened or anything.
Yeah, like he won't be at the wedding, so I'm not gonna.
Do your research.
T had that question, so who,
I mean,
messing with?
I don't. That's really kind of wild to me. Okay, another one. I have another one. Another double standard. All right. What about if she makes more than you?
Money?
Oh, I'm good.
But that is a double standard, though. That the man.
Yeah, I mean that is the double
It's
standard. But
supposed
when
to
it comes to that, man, like if I'm treating her right, like that stuff shouldn't come into play. Like those type of things shouldn't even be a factor at all. Like I think girls, like honestly, a lot of girls probably care more about how they're being treated, whether or not who makes more money. Honestly,
You got girls twisted.
you're crazy.
Money.
You got girls
Man,
twisted.
women are emotional creatures, man.
They're
So
also about that bread.
That's true. But if you're still handling everything that you're supposed to, regardless if she makes more money, like I'll guarantee that won't matter.
So, this is the thing about, the question Vic just posed to you. Think about insecure. when Lawrence didn't have nothing, he was still for Issa, but Issa did her little dirt.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like even though he was there emotionally and stuff, like
he was still bumming off the couch.
He was still bumming. Yes, he was still bumming, but still like he was still there. Like he got to get on his feet.
See, he was there. He was there. He was there physically, but he wasn't there emotionally. He was there physically, but he wasn't there. He was knocking. She would come home and she would be like, "Bro, you ain't doing nothing." He'd be like, "I get to it. That's not getting on your feet, bro.
Okay. That part. Okay. I see.
And I feel like that kind of goes to women. Kind of, it's okay if you don't make as much, but at least where's your goals at? Where do you want? What do you want to make within the next 5 years? So if you're working towards something, I feel like that's a big deal too.
Wasn't that like it's a famous couple that kind of was like that? Was that Tia Mowry? Like, you know, Tia and Tamara? Wasn't her husband at one point
the
like,
Corey Harwood?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like she stayed with him through the downtime.
Because he probably was grinding. Like he was probably out. Like I'm trying to, you know, the actor, right? Yeah, trying to secure these roles, and I mean, he's starting to get them now.
Yeah, I feel like off the rip, I feel like it's probably a thing for her. But once she starts seeing the grind and when she starts seeing the ambition,
exactly. Then that's she's like, okay, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, that's a faded property.
One thing I can say about that is, as far as like how would I feel like if my guy made more money than me. Honestly, okay, the Nigerian enemy is like, you know, I wouldn't want that to be the case, you know, because, I mean, I want to be uber successful as it is, you know, of course I want to be the breadwinner, but if it's just a situation where my wife make more money than me and I can't avoid it, like if I'm dating Oprah or something, it is what it is, man. Because once y'all are married, bro, your money is her money is your money. Like we together.
Yeah, but that goes both ways.
So ain't no prenups.
Nah, if I get married, like I don't plan on getting a divorce. So what I need a prenup for?
See, the thing is, I guess it just depends on your own mindset, man. Because like me personally, like I'm super ambitious, man. So even if the person I'm with was making more money, like I know at the end of the day, there's no way. I know I'm gonna be the breadwinner in the family, regardless. I'm gonna find a way.
All right, little sass, little sass, Juwan.
And low key to backdoor what Juwan just said, like even with the situation at hand like that, like your girl making more than you, like you said, you grinding. Like it's all about her seeing your vision because girls can see more potential than you can in yourself. So that's why it's like in the sense of insecure. She seen the potential in Lawrence, but she just didn't let him finish all the way through because emotionally she kind of did get detached. You're right about that. So I think when it comes to the situation of your girl making more money than you, as long as like Juwan said, you're keeping things together, you being the man of the house still, like she takes that leadership as okay, he's doing his thing, and then next you know you're gonna progress, and that's the growth that y'all need because growth is the key thing about that whole situation itself. Ain't about the money. The money gonna come and go because she can lose her job tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to pick it back up.
Exactly.
So, either way it goes, it's just about the growth of like okay, as long as he's doing his part to help me out, she's doing her part to help me out. We putting it together, like Nelson said, we combine it. We won now. That's it. We won. So. It's no real double standard then, but it's more like I see what you're saying. Like some people take pride in like, oh, I don't want my girl to make more money than me.
Exactly, and I think that pride for a lot of people actually motivates them, but it can actually be a toxic thing too because it can actually hinder them from having a progressive relationship. Because a lot of girls who do be making more, some of them really don't even care about that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, just okay, what is his goals? Where does he see himself? You know, in the next 5 years, what is he working towards? I think that kind of trumps over the immediate problem of he don't make as much as me. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's big when it comes to, you know, the double standard world. My opinion, I'm kind of loose on the double standard. You know what I'm saying? You want me to cook, I'll cook. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I feel like we as a collective, we're kind of loose on it. And that is about all for our life segment. Anything else y'all want to say before we go into a commercial break? Well, y'all are trash anyway, so who cares? We'll be right back. We're going on our commercial break, and we're going to our next topic.
With what commercial?
Y'all got us twisted. We gonna get some sponsors up in this bitch. We'll be right back. Today's episode is sponsored by Cali K Boutique. For all mink lashes, bundles, and other accessories, make sure you guys go visit CaliKBoutique.com. Once again, it's CaliKBoutique.com. It's the holiday season, ladies, so make sure you look good with Cali K. And we're back with the Library Podcast. So we're getting into the music segment with Jared. Jared, go ahead and take us away for this week.
All right, man. It's a couple albums that came out, but we're going to talk about that in a few. This topic kind of, I seen it on 21 Savage's page. He's talking about how artists back in the day, like OGs, make music about making drugs, and now it's like music about consuming drugs, and how the OGs ain't really helping the new generation. It's like a gap. So I was like posing this question: do y'all feel like it's a major gap within the OGs of music and the young G's of music? And how y'all feel about that?
Yeah, definitely, because the styles have changed over time.
Mm-hmm. But with that being said, like it's still, you know how we say trap music?
Yeah. Trap
music is now, you know, it's pretty much gangster music nowadays. It's just a different term now, if you think about it. It's still killing, still drugs, all this, whoop-de-whoop. But sound-wise, you are correct. But do you think it's like substance still, or it's kind of like...
No. There's no substance in music now, man. I think I mentioned it before, man. You know, three-fourths of a song is all the producer. Mm-hmm. So, you know, not a lot of individuals focus on, you know, the lyricism of a song and like actually trying to have a meaning. This is by having just a live beat and, you know, throwing some words together and creating a song. Really, you know, it's a money-making scheme now. It's, you know, it's not passionate. It's a business now. Well, it's more of a business now.
Facts. Like nowadays, like artists they make like what 6-7 songs in a day, like
quick.
Cause you know the songs don't even be long, like at max like 2 minutes. You know, like just a live beat and a couple words, a nice little hook. You know, something catchy that you could dance to, you could vibe to, and then you're good. And then I know how you were saying trap music and gangster music is pretty much the same. I would say like maybe a bit of the content at times, but gangster rap was still a little bit more lyrical. Like, you know, you had your Ice T's, your Ice Cubes, you had the Ghetto Boys. They were a lot more lyrical than Lil Pump, you know. You know, like the guys of now. So, like Juwan said, he was speaking on the fact that, like, you know, styles have changed. That's very much true, you know. Like, music changes all the time. But the OGs from the 80s weren't necessarily linked in with the rappers of the 90s, as you could say, you know. So,
what do you mean by LinkedIn, though?
like, because you were saying there's a gap in between the rappers now and the OGs. So, like, what time frame are you talking about?
Okay, in the instance, and I'm going off of what 21 Savage is pretty much saying, in the time period where, let's say, like, 90s to early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? That's
when the gap started?
That's when the gap transitioned from, like, those artists that, like, you know, say like, your Ice Cubes, your Snoops, your 50s, like they kind of pushed into this time period, and then you get the big gap with like Lil Uzi's and them.
I think a lot of that started in our, like I said, in our generation around like, you know, 2006 to 2008, when you had individuals like Soulja Boy, and people started accepting ignorant style music, and we just ran with it.
Oh, so like Soulja Boy, DJ Unk,
Lil B. See, those are more like.
Dance, I mean, they were party. They were party people, but you know, we flocked to that type of wave. So you know, people ran with it, and
that was more so like the South taking over, because that was like the snap music and all that kind of stuff. And we just didn't want to hear all that like lyrical miracle type stuff going on anymore. We was just
back to what you're saying. You know what I'm saying about changing. The styles are changing, and you know the rappers now, like they grew up listening to Gucci Mane. You know, like if you heard a rapper named Lil Wop, exactly. Like they be like, man, you know, when I grew up, I was listening to Gucci Mane, because you gotta think about it. If you was born in 2000, you're 17 right now. You know? So if you're a rapper and you're 17 years old, in 2000, you know, look who you was jamming compared to like you got rappers that were hot in, let's say, 05, 04. You know, they grew up listening to people in the 90s like, you know, Nas and Jay-Z and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's where I guess you would say they would get their influence from. And then also back to us saying styles changes as well. Just like Vic said, you know, nowadays a lot of people don't want to listen to the lyrical stuff. Like you have rappers like Joey Badass that, you know, are lyrical. You know, they have great content, but since people don't want to hear that, you got people like Lil Pump and Lil Uzi who are a lot more hot than Joey Badass.
Yeah, now, mind you, 21 Savage is 25. And he makes this weird-ass music. Black Youngster's 27. Makes this, like, you know, weird-ass music. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, when you said, like, the age, like, when they was born to what they listened to grew on, I feel like even 21, like, it's like, bro, I feel like you got the substance of hearing like a Nas or Jay-Z in a prime and knowing that this is real music. Yeah. So like you said, like y'all both said, styles change and everything.
Illmatic came out in 90 what?
94.
Yeah. And then Infamous by Mobb Deep came out in what, 93, right? I think that was in 93. Reasonable Doubt came out in what, 96? Yeah, they ain't got no excuse.
No excuse, bro. That's what's so weird to me. But I see what you're saying now.
You gonna do whatever makes money. You know, like if I like, you know, of course my favorite rappers are like very like New York old school type people. But if I was to be a rapper in this day and age, you're not gonna hear me rapping like Wu-Tang Clan. You're not gonna hear me rapping like Biggie. I'm gonna be rapping like 21 Savage and Lil Pump. Like, that's what's hot right now. Like, so that's gonna be your means of making money. You gotta get it how you live. Like.
So do you think it's genuine or
some people? Okay, like. Now, I mean, I don't even want to say this, but like, how like rappers from the 90s, they got a story as to why they became rappers.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you said about it being genuine. Like, look at all the stuff that Nas went through for him to become a rapper. Like, he dropped out of high school, but like people didn't know he was reading the dictionary every day. You know what I'm saying? Like getting his vocabulary right. Yeah. So, like, of course, so he was always good with words. Became a rapper. So all of his stories are more authentic. Yeah. And then you got rappers who are like rappers now, like people like Slim Jesus, who never lived no gangster like life ever, but they know like if I rap about this type of music, it's gonna sound good.
I'm gonna blow up.
I'm gonna blow up. Like
So you're saying it's easier to get put on nowadays? Or you're saying
by far.
It's about the money.
Yeah. It's about honestly, styles have changed, but I think the influence is still there. Because if you think about it, a lot of the beats that these individuals are taking now are sampled from
back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. The influence is still a lot of music still is, bro.
I don't think Metro Boomin and Yo sample like
I ain't gonna lie. Now you go and it's definitely a lot less now because back in like the early 2000s,
samples crazy. Yeah.
Beat Makers, Dipset and all them, they used to sample everything from like the 80s and the 70s and all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, I'm with Nelson. I don't think they really just be pulling out the sample book.
Yeah, like the beat. But just kind of piggyback off of what you were talking about, like the individuals born in like the 2000s. Something that kind of popped in my head was Lonzo Ball. I don't know if y'all remember when he was talking about what real hip hop was. He was saying that Migos and Future were real hip hop, and like Nas, he was like nobody wants to listen to Nas. It's like what? Like, you crazy?
I have a theory about that. I feel like that was the curse on Lonzo Ball. If you think about that, his stat line reads 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. I think that's why he's not performing at the highest of levels right now. But to also piggyback on what everybody's saying, Nas was 19 when he made Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And I feel like nowadays it's just so easy for somebody to just go into Pro Tools, make a beat, get a basic engineer, and just put it on Twitter and see if it catches. And if it catches, it catches. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Or have something behind it. Like, I think a lot of rappers nowadays are missing the journey. I remember when I used to see or I used to even hear about like hoes standing outside like a famous club or like Lust or something and passing out demos. People used to pass out demos.
But that has a lot to do with the technology that's available now.
It's easier. You can be famous in your living room.
Easy.
You don't have to move.
Soulja Boy started that wave, right?
Oh yeah.
He would hack the songs by making it seem like this is that certain person's song and it'd be his shit.
Yeah.
So it's like
he had all our computers fried.
Soulja Boy was smart, and that's why my man's was making the money that he did.
Wire.
Yeah.
But I don't blame Lonzo Ball for saying that, because if I was his age and I grew up listening to these rappers of this current age, I'll feel the same way. Like you can't tell me it's any it's of course there's people our age that feel this way, but it's not a lot of people our age that be like, man, I jam the Sugar Hill Gang. Like, I love them. Sugar Hill Gang.
It's very rare. Very, very
like
rare.
You got to be very conscious or be into that type of music.
Or like Little Brother.
That. Yeah, you feel me? Like, nobody is saying that. We're gonna say, you know what I'm saying, more people. Like, we're gonna name the artists that we grew up listening to. So,
but how do we change that narrative? Or is there even a way to change the narrative? Because I think the reason why lyricism is kind of dying is because the music that we're listening to now is like easily digestible. Like, it's just like Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Gucci gang. You know what I'm saying? My chick love do cocaine. So, I mean, it's just very, very easy to kind of get what they're saying and digest what they're saying. And then another thing, like Jared was saying, it's different nowadays. It used to be like, and I don't even really all the way rock with what Jared said, because he said that back in the day it was about being the dealer. Now it's about being the consumer, which is true. But they also rapped about a lot of different stuff back in the day. Dude, Biggie said, "I'm the freshest dude ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks." like people used to really get their fresh on back in the day, but I really don't really hear music kind of talking about any other element of life besides overdosing on this or taking this. And then that even goes into the R&B. Even though I feel like R&B is kind of coming back a little bit. But there was a huge time where R&B was like mad dead. Only people putting out stuff was like Chris Brown and Trey Songz. It was like mad dead. I think there was a time where love kind of also was not cool to talk about. Now it's kind of okay. It's like coming back. It's
gaining itself back.
Yeah, it's kind of coming back with like Party Next Door and Tory Lanez and all them. But kind of. Yeah, Ty Dolla $ign.
A love song with a feature in 21 Savage.
Exactly. But I mean, I guess it's not cool to talk about because they were really talking about being a dealer back in the day. And nowadays it's just like consumer. And it's actually a bad thing because now a lot of these kids are ODing on drugs. The little homie, the dude Lil Peep died not too long ago over an OD. So, I mean, it's our society is headed to a weird place musically, if you ask me.
That's true. And like you just said, man, like the wave, to the consumer wave and everything, like with music the way it is now, and I think you just said like what can we do or what should be done now, like as in the sense of okay, the OGs ain't helping out, let's make our own way, but can they still have that substance to build up the next generation? Do you think they can do that, or?
No.
You just gotta. You kind of.
Jay-Z just had 444, and we still jamming the Gucci gang. So.
Honestly, you just gotta let time take its course. Like like when rap changed from the 80s to the 90s, you didn't see them trying to figure out how can we get it back to sound like the 80s. It's just like it's going to happen. Life is going to go on. So whatever new style of music happens in the next 10 years, that's what it's going to be. If if they decide to bring back the old sound, then that's what it is. But if not, oh well, like life keeps pushing.
Okay, for sure.
You're gonna still always honor the greats though, like the people who did it first or beforehand. But
quick question. And this just came to my head, so we're gonna roll with it because I like rolling with the punches. Since 2000, because I think that's when we all kind of got coherent to music. We could talk about the 90s all we want to, but we weren't really just jamming it in the 90s. You feel me? So since 2000, who's had the most influence on music to you?
Kanye.
Lil Wayne.
I say Kanye.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne in the reign of Lil Wayne from 05 to 09. Yes, like I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Boy,
Wayne, yeah.
I want to say 09. Lil Wayne from freaking I'm gonna say 05 to like at least.
Don't say 11.
11.
Don't say 11.
Yeah, 10, 11,
bro. Even
10, 11 when he started.
Yeah. Even in high school, Lil Wayne was still like.
Yeah.
Y'all look me in my face. I ain't got no worries.
Hey, that's Wayne.
You see right there?
I don't like that. Kanye with every album really pushed the pendulum forward in music.
Yeah.
Like Kanye was too implemental with what he was doing with the 808s and Heartbreaks. And to me, that was like one of his worst albums, but that did so much for music.
That's top 3.
That's my favorite.
Okay. Top 3. All right. What are you putting it over? It's not better than Graduation.
No, we'll put it over.
Let me know.
I'm putting it over Yeezus.
Obviously, yes.
Putting it over TLOP. The Life of Pablo.
Okay.
What about My Dark Twisted Fantasy?
No.
You sleep. You
hard,
sleep.
Brother.
That album was so hard.
They sit neck and neck.
But I love it.
But my Twisted Dark Fantasy is the best art of a project ever, though. It's the
Now,
best art.
here's where you're messed up because you have to put Graduation up there. You have to, in my opinion.
Mine is late grad, and then it'd be 808s. College Dropout, I messed
But
with
the reason why 808s is so pivotal is because not only was it a new sound, we started changing the way we dress.
Everything.
After 808s. Boys started wearing cardigans, polos, more.
Boys had the little lapels on.
Patches.
People started wearing the mullets. Some people wore the mullets. You had the good hair, rock the mullet. You know what I'm saying? But like that. I mean, I feel you. Kanye had a bigger influence on a lot of things, but on just strictly hip hop, you gotta give it to Lil Wayne.
I'll go Wayne. I'll go Kanye. 50.
T-Pain. Don't sleep on T-Pain.
Okay.
And Cudi, I'll put Cudi in there because a lot of people that I didn't even realize love Cudi.
Yeah.
Because he spoke at a different level of music. You know what I'm saying? For the people that's like feel like loners, I ain't gonna lie.
Y'all gonna say 50?
Oh, 50 Cent
50,
for sure.
50 can get it, bro. Like he's like for real.
50 had a run.
Would y'all put Pharrell up there in influences?
Nah.
Pharrell's my influence.
You're crazy. Pharrell made me feel like I had game.
But not for everybody though. We talking about like, you know.
And then you got to think listeners who are from all over. We're from the South, so Wayne was like Jesus back in like 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, and 09 and onwards. Wayne was the man. You couldn't go nowhere without listening to some Wayne verse that he dropped literally 2 hours ago, and everybody was rushing to learn the whole lyrics. Wayne was the man. Kanye was the man too, and this is all for our generation. 50 to me was a man. You also said Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi was the man. Kid Cudi was the boy.
Kid Cudi hit a hum and everybody go crazy.
Yeah.
Even on Travis Scott, in the late nights. I said, yo.
Remember Day and Night?
Yeah.
Day and Night was crazy.
Yeah, hard.
So, in my opinion, I feel like just the new generation, I guess they kind of was just like, oh man, F y'all old. We don't have to listen to y'all. You know, and they just kind of became, and I feel like Future kind of helped out with that too. Because Future never talks about dealing. He really talks about like how much he uses. Yeah. So a lot of people growing up, a lot of these guys who are 17 when they were listening to Future came out in like 11.
But he didn't really get popping
till like
because
like 13, right?
13, late 12, 13.
Yeah, late 12, 13. Honestly.
Yeah. So if I'm 17 right now and I'm singing Gucci Gang, how old was I at 13? I was 13.
So I was at 13.
So and think about when you were 13 and what music meant to you when you were 13. Music was like the most important. Yeah.
I was a Wayne head.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
that upgrade you free stuff.
Man, you knew it word for word. So that's what I'm saying. These kids are growing up and they're idolizing these people who are only really kind of prophesying how much they consume these drugs, and that's forcing them to also do the same because people don't know how much they're a public figure, man. So it's really crazy how the new generation kind of does it.
Yeah, it is. But man, let's move right along, man. It's some albums that dropped, man, last couple of weeks, and we need to touch up on them right quick. First one I'm gonna just touch on. The boy T-Pain dropped a little joint called Oblivion. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard it all the way yet, so I'm just letting it ride. So for the people, the viewers, go check that out. You know what I'm saying? T-Pain is a legend. Respect that man. He don't get the credit he deserves, but
he does.
Nah, not really.
Yeah, as a future artist. As a future artist,
it was cold.
Hook, man.
And white people love him. Don't get me
Tiffany was a great album.
Thank you, bro.
His best.
For sure.
Have you heard his Stomach?
Some people like booty.
Hey, real talk. Okay, moving right along. That boy, Jaden Smith, man, he dropped Syrie, and I can't front. From the backstory that I got from my little brother, because he keeps up with a lot of the younger music, he was like, you know, Jaden Smith is like doing something different. Then my other partners kind of backdoor the story too. And like Jaden Smith, he drops videos right now on YouTube. I don't know if you guys watched them.
Yeah,
but the videos are supposed to be a compilation of him making a movie.
Yeah,
quote unquote. So it's like it's unique, but the style he's bringing to the table and this the messages he bringing on this album. Like the first 4 songs is supposed to letter out, and I can't remember the whole substance of it right now. But just if you listen to him, he's like really putting something together. Like he's putting a story together within those first 4 songs, and then everything else just goes. Like Breakfast goes, Falcon's pretty tight with Rari, Lost Boy and Batman and Icon. Like this guy has it's a very good sleeper album of 2017.
I want to know how much he sells.
What's the keys?
I really want to know how much he sells. I want to know how much he sells. And then do y'all really think that he could be like, I don't know, do y'all think he can ever be like a real like premier artist? He kind of is now though.
If he can get out the shadow of his dad and mom.
He won't be able to.
He kind of is now.
I mean, he is, but at the end of the day, you're still going to be like, that's Will Smith and Jada.
Nah,
yeah,
we don't say that.
He's on that. He's on that multi-talented type thing like his dad is too. So like his music, like I'll never just take him super duper serious for his music. Will I listen? Yes, I will listen. But I ain't gonna lie, I like him better as an actor.
Same.
I like him better as an actor.
Listen to Syrie, and it's gonna change. You're gonna be like, you know what? I got more respect for him because he actually, as an artist, he created art with his music.
Because honestly, his dad did the same thing he's doing right now. Yeah. Music first, and Jaden did acting first, but they both did both hand in hand. So I'm sure people never really just took Will Smith hella serious in
Getting
music.
Jiggy would have got a Grammy. So
Yeah, but that's after he was,
That's after he was Fresh
after he
Prince.
was a super successful actor.
He won the first Grammy though. They never just showed it though.
Talking about
Yeah.
before he was a rapper.
When they put hip hop had its first category in the Grammys, and they
He
never
won.
showcased it on TV. He's the first artist to win that.
Was
Yeah.
that when he was with DJ Jazzy Jeff?
Yes.
Was that To Perish Is to Understand?
I don't know if it was that song itself, but it was in the 80s. I got to look it back up one more time though. But I remember watching the documentary and like he was the first one. They was like so happy, but it was mad because they didn't get shown nationally.
Yeah, we can fact check it, but he for sure he definitely won it, and no one even saw it.
You know what I'm saying? So to get jiggy with it again, kind of like icing on the cake.
But moving back to Jaden, I think his last project was good. I really liked his feature when he was on the Post Malone mixtape too.
Oh yeah. He ate that.
So I think the song was called "See You," but he's a very, very talented guy, and I wish nothing but the best from him. I think he's gonna sell a lot because he has a crazy fan base too.
He has a cult following. The young generation got cult followings, man. I gotta.
Oh yeah,
respect them,
definitely.
bro. So that goes back to what we said earlier about how like people follow them. That's why I think that they can really, if they can change the direction of their music a little bit to kind of bring substance again, they can change the audience and make the audience go. But also, man, Sci-Hi the Prince, man.
Sci-Hi.
Hey,
Don't sleep on that guy.
dope on Sundays is crazy. Hey, let me go through this track list right quick. Get Your Money, No Dope on Sundays with Pusha, Moving Around, Go Hard. Murder went in. Don't Know Why went in. That Side went in. 80s Baby went in too, and I'm Fine. Like
80s Baby did go in.
that went.
He was spitting mad fire on 80s
Bro,
Baby.
and it's Sci-Hi is one of those artists, man. Like we always know how good he is, but he just like can never just drop a project because he was signed under that contract. And
Yeah,
now,
he's off of Def Jam, but he's still with good music.
Yeah.
But he is off of Def Jam, so I think in Def Jam's building, they probably didn't see him as much of a priority, seeing as how they just thought, okay, well, we signed you because you're really writing most of the stuff for one of our top dogs, who was Kanye at the time, or it still is Kanye. So I think everybody kind of felt like, okay, well, we're just gonna keep his contract. He finally got out the contract, and now he's dropping music, and he's telling all you people that he's one of the best rappers in the world. Shout out Sci-Hi.
Yeah, he's a sick lyricist, man. So I respect what he did with this album, man. So anybody that's like looking for good lyrical content, yeah, Sci-Hi got you, man. But other than that, man, that's just a couple of hits to touch up on. There's some singles that dropped.
We got Dipset's back. Dipset's back, ladies and gentlemen. They got a song called "What's Upon a Time," and it is beautiful. It just sounds just like. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. If you're a real hip hop fan, I don't respect you if you don't have diplomatic immunity in your top 10 albums of all time. If you are 25 or less, that is all. Dipset was a huge part of my life growing up. From Dipset Anthem to I'm Ready to I Really Mean It. That was a wave. And then that they had Jay-Z in the Rockefeller office scared. They had him scared. I'm telling you. So Dipset's back. They got a live little song called Once Upon a Time. An album's coming now. Everybody knows Cameron and Jim Jones had their whole little beef going on for a second. Yeah. Seems like they patched it up, which is really good because I like them both together. And the reason why I like this record is because they sound like Dipset. They really just sound like that 02, 03, 04 Dipset. You know, that Hey Ma, oh boy type, gritty type Dipset. So that's good. The Miguel is about to drop a project coming soon called War and Leisures. He dropped another single. Everybody knows his first single, the Luke Skywalker and Honey Haters. So everybody knows the
song
first
took off.
First song did take off. And then the second single he dropped kind of sounds like a Prince song to me, but it's a really dope song. It's called I Told You So. So shout out to Miguel. Really looking forward to his project as well. A lot of other people dropped. Tyus dropped, like I told you at the last podcast. He has a really dope project coming out soon. And, you know, just good time to have music. I love music during the Christmas time, to be honest. Real nice vibes.
You know, everybody coming back home and put you on some stuff from college or from work and all that. It's like, okay, it's different. So,
speaking of putting people on new stuff, thanks a lot, Jared, for your segue. Ladies and gentlemen, we're introducing a new segment of the music topic. This is called Lord of the Chord. We're going to play an unsigned artist for a minute and 30 seconds, and we would actually love your feedback on the artist. Who should we start with? We'll start with Jared's. Okay, Jared, give a little backstory on this guy.
All right, so the artist that I chose to showcase is Ashton Travis, man. He's from the Mo. He's been doing music for quite some time, man. He had dropped a mixtape in 2011 called Good Vibes, and I cannot lie to you, man. That's probably one of the best, for a mixtape as an artist, best produced independents I've heard in a long time. So I know he's a really cool partners with Travis Scott and them. So like just to even hear him come back in the mix, man. He's he went to Howard University. You know what I'm saying? Like OG Chase B, the whole connection to that whole crew, man. It's kind of tight to see that they're still pushing and doing their thing. And man, he got the song called Exactly, and yeah, it's wavy as hell. So
yeah, and actually he's touching up on that because I remember in high school when he did drop that Good Vibes tape, it was actually he had a song called Breathe on there, right? Yeah, he was kind of live back then. Me and this guy Jared be the tunes, bro. But yeah, he's a really good artist. Check out Ashton Travis. His song is called Exactly.
I know exactly what you. I know exactly. I know exactly. I know exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what you want. I know exactly. I know exactly what you want. Trips, whips, presidential suite in the Ritz, ice, gloves, suicide dose. Turn up, jam, do it all for the cam. Fire in my suite, pretty bitches on repeat. LA turn wild, get it till the sun down. All my niggas wild.
I ain't gonna lie, this fire.
Put it all on me. Hit it so good you can't leave. Yeah, yeah. When I club, let these bitches show up.
Y'all can see JB's face right now.
Better come back clean. Yeah. When I club, let these bitches show up. Yeah. When I leave, yeah, better come back clean. Hey, chains, handful of rings. PJ, cars.
Okay, that was Ashton Travis with Exact. Let me let that ride a little bit longer. That was a really good pick. That was Ashton Travis with Exactly from his new. I'm pretty sure he's got a new project coming out.
for sure.
When's the last time? I ain't seen him in a while, actually.
It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, I don't even think he live in the city no more. All right, Nelson, tell us about this Pee Wee Longway head ass guy.
Well, the artist that I'm about to show y'all is a guy named Don Toliver. The song is called I Gotta. Actually, I don't really know too much about him. I believe he's in California, but my little cousin, he was shooting our probate video from my fraternity last week, and he was doing the recap video, so he had this song in the beginning of it, and I was like, whoa, this really jammed. I got to get the name of it, so, he sent it to me. I seen it on YouTube, so y'all check it out. Y'all tell me what y'all think about it.
We got Don Toliver, I Gotta. Dog, drop the beat already.
He coming. He got to get you ready.
Oh, never mind. It's live. Don Toliver. I gotta. You got a project coming out, or is it just a single?
I mean, I believe he has either as a mixtape or an album called Playa Familia. So I mean, y'all could just go to YouTube and type in Don Toliver. You know, he has some pretty solid music.
I ain't gonna lie, that was nice.
Now the video pretty interesting too. My little cousin said he knows the cameraman, so you know, shout out to that guy as well.
Don Toliver, yeah, that was actually some pretty nice stuff. All right, I'm gonna play mine. This artist, should I play? This artist is actually called Tyus. This is from his EP Phases that I've been raving about. This is a really good EP. Only 6 songs. If anybody's familiar with Tyus, he had the Never Forget EP as well that I really liked. This song is called Brand New. This is by Tyus, and this is from his EP Phases.
Yeah. We don't interact hardly. You know I'm speaking facts only. Tell me why you gotta act on me. Won't you bring it back for me? Drink start pouring soon as I came through. We start exploring soon as I came through. Know it's been a minute, but it feel brand new. What? Yeah, it feel brand new. I be on my way ASAP. I just might taste that. I'm an MIA, you be MIA. Lifestyle a different now, but some shit don't change. Part of you, part of me. Know this shit ain't perfect, I agree. I don't let what they say bother me. Girl, I know you worth it, obviously. Drinks start pouring soon as I came through. We start exploring soon as I came through. Know it's been a minute, but it feel brand new. What? Yeah, it feel brand new. We don't interact hardly. You know I'm speaking facts only. Tell me why you gotta act on me. Won't you bring it back for me? Yeah, I'm watching, she got it, that's my chick. I'm holding my face when she drop it. She get it more than she need it. I know that she feel like she with it. Yeah, you know we should.
All right, that was Brand New by Tyus. Once again, Brand New by Tyus. Tyus is Tyus, and that's off his EP Phases. Currently now on your phones, your Apple phones, Spotify, all that, Tidal, all that. All right, so Juwan, go ahead and play your Dwelle shit.
But no, the artist that I have, he isn't necessarily an unsigned artist, but he is an artist that is slept on. His name is Lance Howard, but he goes by Lance Skiwalker. He originally was with a group called the Rocketeers, but in 2016 he was signed to the label Top Dog Entertainment. And if you don't know what that is, that's Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, Ab-Soul, J-Rock, even the famous SZA. And the song that I have by him is from one of his debut album, Introverted Intuition, called Could It Be? 1 second.
Can you bring your waiter back over here again? It's kind of cute. Hey, what's her name? Sweet dress. Say, baby, can we tip? So I guess when you buy my way, hey, that was on the hip. Well, I just hope we won't die. Say, that's why we skinny dip. To a cabin in my heart away. Girl, girl, my love is at heart, baby. So, I took the bird. My white dress. So, I took the bird. My white dress. So, I took the bird. Perfume to my white dress. Still want you to know though.
right, that was Lance Ski Walker with Could It Be. I ain't gonna lie, Joan, where are you listening to this song at, bro?
Man, it's honestly one of those songs that you just kind of, when you're on the road,
Yeah.
when you just riding and you just vibing.
Oh, hold on. He's jamming now. Oh. My bad, I was talking way too quick. This dude started jamming. Hold up. All right, we ain't gonna give you too much, Lance. Send the bag over. We got you on some more. Shout out to Lance Ski Walker, man. That song is called Could It Be? It's off of his project Introverted Intuition. I actually didn't know he signed, but I've heard a song from him before. He's pretty dope.
Yeah, 2016.
And that was Lord of the Chord. So go ahead and send us a nice little hashtag, the Library Podcast, and tell us who you liked. With that being said, that's the music segment of our podcast. We're going to take a quick break and get over to the entertainment segment with Nelson Ayodeji. So Library Podcast, stay tuned. If you like what you hear on the podcast, go ahead and subscribe today at ChoseLifeTV on YouTube. Also, go ahead and subscribe to Chose Life Media on SoundCloud. Be sure to not only subscribe, but like and leave a comment below. We do appreciate all the support. Thank you. All right, we're back to the Library Podcast. This is the entertainment section with Nelson Ayodeji, but we cannot lie, ladies and gentlemen. We saw an amazing game yesterday. And to unravel that, we got Nelson Ayodeji. Go ahead and lead us in with our quick sports segment.
Okay. Yesterday, for all my college basketball fans, the boy Colin Sexton did the full last night. First and foremost, I want to say, they did lose to Minnesota, not by a lot, but for the last 10 minutes of the game, Alabama had 3 players, and Minnesota still had their full team.
Yeah.
So it was basically 3-on-5 for the last 10 minutes, and mind you, Alabama outscored them 30-22. And my boy Colin, he had 40 piece, 40 points on the night, but he had 31 in the second half.
Yo, round of applause for Colin.
Hey, league that guy.
Hey, Colin, number 1. Hey, baby. Colin, hey, get out of there. Take this freshman year, get your little buckets, and go straight to the league.
Yeah, man. That's
Colin,
top 10.
let me go ahead and say this. Colin showed so much heart. There was an ejection because the players left the court at last night's game against Minnesota. Mind you guys, Alabama was ranked in the top 25. They were number 25, and Minnesota was actually number 14. And they did get outscored once it did become a 3-on-5 affair. Colin scored 40 points. He was doing it off the dribble. He was doing it off a fadeaway. He was scoring from everywhere. So, once again, we want to shed some light on Colin. I feel like Colin definitely deserves that. Keep hooping, my boy. Do what you got to do. And that was sports.
Okay. Now, back to the entertainment topic. Donald Trump. Our president, Donald Trump.
That's your president.
Okay. The guy that lives in the White House, Donald Trump.
Fun fact, he don't even live there.
You feel me? Like, his house is way bigger than the White House. It's a downgrade for my boy. Yeah. The whole situation with LeVar Ball, I guess he wanted an apology because he feels like he got LiAngelo Ball and the other 2 players out of, like, that predicament they were in. I just feel like Donald Trump, he lays an emphasis on unimportant things instead of the real big issues that we have in the United States. How do y'all feel about that?
Man, sometimes whenever he does it, I feel like it's a distraction from something else. Definitely feel like it's a distraction from something else. But no, LeVar Ball was absolutely right, man. There are a lot more important things going on right now in society, and you're worried about an apology. I mean, not an apology, but a thank you. Yeah. A thank you from a father from getting him out. First of all, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. Honestly, man, my man stole, I hate to say it, in China and one of
the countries that don't play.
Yeah, it's like you want your hand to get cut off if you still in there. But yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous, man. God goes on these Twitter rants about all this unnecessary stuff and stuff that has no meaning when you got people out here starving, you got countries still in poverty from the hurricane season. Shoot, Houston, Houston still needs help.
Where that money at, man?
So I mean, yeah, it is kind of out of whack. But we do thank him for bringing him back, though.
Oh yeah, without question.
Most definitely. And LeVar Ball, I mean, even though it would be a nice gesture, you do as a president of the United States, you have so much more to worry about. Because you got free smoke coming from at least 9 countries that want it.
Easy, bro. Man, it was just to me, man. I just feel like it was a publicity stunt, just to reach out towards the African American, just to make it seem like he cares about the African American community.
Yeah, man. President Trump, get your old behind off the Twitter, FYI. Secondly, like LeVar Ball, in the CNN interview, he breaks down that when the situation happened, it wasn't like Donald flew out there to go get him. Donald was already out there in China. So the situation kind of made it like, he kind of said some stuff to get him out. And
just convenient.
Yeah, it was perfect, convenient. Yeah. And backdoor, LeVar's like, I would say thank you if he took the kids on a flight with him and talked to them. No, you just says what you got to say, let them go. Whoop de whoop. You didn't do anything special.
I think they're both wrong.
You think so?
I think LeVar, say thank you, bro. Like LeVar, say thank you. Donald, stop worrying about it. Like you ever do something for somebody and you're just like mad at the thank you, but just out of the kindness of your own heart, you don't even say nothing. You just be like, you just eat it up. Just like, okay, well, whatever. He didn't say thank you, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't really just make a thing out of it. Oh, he didn't say thank you, so the next time he's in China, I'm leaving them alone. Like, you don't really do that. You just eat it up, you know what I'm saying, and just go on and be the president of the United States. Juwan was very right. You have a million other things to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a million other world causes that we are currently dealing with today. So a thank you is the least of your concerns. Now, LeVar, on your ungrateful self, bro, just say thank you, bro. The guy got your son out of an incomparable position, and he's back. He's suspended indefinitely, but he's back in the States, and he's back at UCLA on the campus where he needs to be. So they both kind of suck to me. So
I don't think LeVar Ball is wrong, honestly, because it's like I feel where he's coming from. It's like, yeah, I mean, you helped get him out, but like, did you really? Like, he was gonna get out eventually.
Oh, you don't know China, bro.
I don't think what he took was like that big of a deal for him to have been like, persecuted that bad. Because for the longest, they didn't even want to release what it was, Yeah. So, like, he was going to get out eventually. Like, if I'm LeVar, I'm like, why are you putting my family on blast? Like, it's so much other stuff in the U.S. In other countries, like, that you have problems with that is going on right now, and you worried about me saying thank you? Like, come on now. Like,
that was on your mind for a couple of days.
That was on your mind. Like, you should first and foremost, you shouldn't even know who my son is. You're the president of the United States. Come on, but now I'm feeling good though since you tweeting me and stuff. But like, still, man, like LeVar say, like, it's so many other issues that you should be trying to handle, but you're worried about, like, saying, hey, y'all can't say sorry. Like, next time I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
yeah, that was whack.
Like, you're tweeting like you're in high school and you're supposed to be a public figure.
You're 70-some years old. You're tweeting.
But you know what's crazy though, man? It was some positives with that though, man. The Big Baller brand, they said it went up. I think the worth of the company went up to like $13.2 million because of that situation. Because of that tweet, they went up. So shout out to Black-owned businesses.
Shout out to Black-owned businesses, brother.
Would y'all buy Big Baller brands?
No. I support what they're doing, but I will not buy it.
I'll buy a shirt probably.
No.
I'll buy some slides.
It just depends, because I seen the shoes is like $400. The
I'm not
slides is like $100.
I'm good off of that.
I'm not.
But everybody starts somewhere. You know what I mean?
$400.
You can't be starting at
Dream big.
Humble yourself, brother.
Dream big.
But, yeah, like
go big or go home.
I support him most definitely. I might get a Lonzo Ball like jersey. Well, I mean, then I would be supporting
the Lakers
or Nike.
And that's not a Black-owned business. I'll tell you that.
Hey, what's up, bud?
But so shout out to both. Well, we're not shouting out Donald Trump at all.
Yeah.
But shout out to LeVar Ball. Shout out to Lonzo. Shout out to LiAngelo, who's not playing. He actually, because of the incident, along with the 4 other freshmen that went with him, they all got suspended indefinitely. I don't know when they're coming back, but of course he's a highly touted athlete coming out of high school, so he's going to be something special to watch for the year.
Okay, well, moving forward, did anybody notice the weather change?
We didn't know the weather changed.
Kind
Nelson.
of getting chilly.
Nah, it's starting to warm back up. Actually, it was cold in Atlanta.
Hey man, let us segue.
What's wrong with this guy?
Jesus
Guy
Christ!
was in Atlanta for like a weekend and
God dang.
blurting out crazy.
All because
stuff.
it was hot in Hotlanta don't mean.
Nah, it was actually cold.
No, but yeah, the reason why the temperatures are dropping is because
'tis the season to be cuffing. La 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 la.
cuffing season, guys. Cuffing season is officially begun. How y'all feeling?
Good luck.
How y'all feeling?
Good luck.
How y'all feeling about this whole period of time?
When he stops texting you, sorry.
How do we feel?
He's not buying you no gifts. Nothing.
But it's cuffing season though. You know, like this is the time for you to get you somebody, you know, keep you warm for the winter time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now cuffing season. I'm currently in the preseason. I've gone through 4 preseason games and I've won every single one of them. But I'm still haven't found a real recruiter for my cuffing season. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go on at Victor Chosen if you. No, I'm joking. But okay, this is the thing, right? So I graduated about a year and a half ago from college, and when I graduated, I noticed, and I can pretty much speak for everybody in this room, I noticed the cuffing season pendulum kind of changes, just based off circumstances. Now, when you're in college, you tend to really cuff right after homecoming. You can't cuff during the summertime because you're not really seeing them, and that's your summer cuff. You can't really cuff in August because that's when all the new freshmen come, all the new transfers come, so of course you're going to be hungry for that. You can't really cuff during homecoming because that's when everybody comes down to your school. So when's the best time to cuff in college? Right after homecoming. That end of October, right after Halloween, when girls are done getting the loosie out of them. Oh God! And then the beginning of November. And this is why you do it in college during that time. You don't get to meet their parents because you're probably from a different city and you're not that serious yet. You just got started. That's number one. Number two is getting a little cold, so that means you tend to not go out as much. You don't party as much, so you get a little bit more lonely. You study more, and who helps you really study more is just that one solid down girl, presumably that has the same major as you. But you can take it back if you want to. You could go a different major, but usually that cuffing season starts then in college, and then it goes from the beginning of November all the way to what? Spring break. Of course, and that's when cutting season starts. Now, ever since I've graduated, I've noticed that it's the exact opposite. Let me tell you why. You tend to actually break up with girls post-grad around this time because you don't want to meet their family. You don't want to buy them any kind of gifts. You don't want that Valentine's Day to roll on and she ends up asking you, what are we? Cause
and don't let her birthday be right behind it.
Oh my God.
No paycheck.
Broke boys.
Oh my gosh. So cuffing season is an anomaly in itself. It's a utopia that must remain anonymous in my life. I don't know Jerry, how you feel about cuffing season?
You know, but like you said though, it is a little different from how the college basis to now, like being in the in the real world. It is a little different. You do see those little things. It's a little like you pull back a little more closer towards the winter time and whatnot. And on Friday after next, when that boy Craig met old girl from the shop, and she's like, "What you get for your girl?" He said, "That's why I had to dump him because I got to buy him that." I mean, that's reality. People do that, so I don't knock it. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just if you mess with somebody, you mess with somebody. If you don't, hey,
nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Good riddance.
Don't do that because a gift post grad is a very, very key component to a relationship, especially a Christmas gift. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta think about all the times you have to potentially bring her over to the house, or you have to potentially go over to her house. Thanksgiving, what you doing? What you doing Thanksgiving?
Who's your little friend?
Who's your little friend Thanksgiving? Then you gotta go over to Christmas. Come on, Valentine's. So and like Juwan said, don't let her birthday be nowhere near these days.
Pocket's gonna be empty. You're gonna be hurt.
So that's a big dynamic that. And people are gonna look at this episode and be like, "These niggas is broke."
I low-key just hope like people are not getting cuffed just because cuffing season is here. You know what I'm saying?
Gifts and shit.
Yeah, like isn't that like I want people to understand that there's nothing wrong with being by yourself.
Well, actually, speaking of relationships, we have our relationship expert here, Mr. Juwan Greene. Hey.
All right, how do I feel about cuffing season? Honestly, I'm about to drop some advice on y'all.
Let's hear it.
Communication.
I like advice.
Communication is the key to everything. If you're messing with that person, tough. If you're not, if you guys are just friends with benefits, you guys have to you have to be completely honest and transparent to avoid all the stress, all the problems that come with, I guess talking and messing with each other. Now, as far as the different holidays and stuff that comes up, once again, you got to talk to each other. You got to, because I know in the first year of a relationship, I'm not gonna lie to you, you're not meeting my family. So I think the biggest thing, like I said before, is talking to each other and getting an understanding if you guys really want to move forward, if you guys want to split up and go separate ways. Simply because I would absolutely hate to spend all my money on an individual who I do not care about.
I mean, okay, I got a question, and this is really not even for Juwan, so this is more so for all the single people in the room. That was whack, but when a lot of people cuffing season, they actually just keep one girl, but I know a lot of people who just, cut the roster down. So do y'all just keep, in your better years, would you just keep one girl, or would you just kind of have the roster set up? Because if you keep one girl and you give her all that attention, you're setting yourself up.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
That's why I say that communicate. Man, honestly, when I think in terms of cuffing season, man, I think of you talking to you got one special person on your mind.
Yeah,
you got one special person. So I guess you wouldn't necessarily be cutting down the roster. But a lot of people, if you don't necessarily want to let go of all the individuals who you kind of been on, you still communicate, but you kind of slow down. But it's just one that you just kind of give your attention to until the new year rolls around. Is hey, where's everybody? I'm back.
Low-key, what I've noticed in college is like,
hold on, pause. I'm back.
I say after the new year.
Yeah.
Like, where you been? I was just going through some shit. Family stuff.
This is my family.
My aunt got sick.
Hey, but I'm good now though. What you doing tonight? Hey, pull up on me. Nah, but what I've noticed, like during the cuffing season, like time frame, like in college, that's usually when people start having their like boyfriend and girlfriend probates. Like
yep.
On social media
balloons,
and stuff.
yeah.
You feel me? You just be like, damn, they date? Like,
not easy.
I don't even know, like, like all the hidden stuff like comes out the light. I'd be like, damn, I didn't know y'all knew each other. Like,
2 weeks later, that photo was gone.
Yeah, they gone. Like, damn.
Damn, that's when you get the hit ups. Oh, that's when so what is this?
Yeah, you talk to so and so?
Who your little friend? Who your
little friend?
Hold on, lady, mommy, don't ever ask me who my little friend is.
That's the rule.
Mommy, listen, don't you ever ask me who my little friend is, please.
Just worry about yourself, dude.
You will get stole off by my little friend. But no. On a serious note, I feel like cuffing season is a real thing, but I feel like it's played both ways. I think the college version is doper because you ain't got to pay nothing. But then again, she doesn't really expect you to pay nothing anyway because y'all all broke in the same dorm. They're making the same minimum wage, so that's cool too. The adult version that we're all currently kind of seeing right now manifest is cool too, but I mean, you do have to worry about is it too late to... And that's a thing. Okay, Juwan brought up a really good pocket that I really want to stay in. How early is too early to meet somebody's parents?
Man, I say you can't even.
He said a year. A year is kind of a. That's
man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You can be with a person for a very long time, and that person can switch up on you. You be like, I didn't know you were this way. So a year to me is definitely.
But if you switch up on me after a year, I ain't gonna lie, you deserve a trophy. That's a long time to hold it down,
man. You'd be surprised what some individuals do and what some people go through, man. But honestly, I guess it kind of depends. It kind of depends on when you guys are comfortable, or that individual is comfortable meeting your parents. But I just know me personally, man. Man, it's gonna be at least 2 years.
Low-key though, you can't put I feel like you can't really put a time frame on that. Like, I'm not saying you're gonna meet somebody's parents after a week or a month, but it's like if you got a connect, like an undeniable connection with somebody, you know, and you feel like it's the right thing to do, then I mean, do that, man. There's some people that get married after knowing somebody for 6 months. There's some people get married after knowing somebody for 6 years. You know, like you just don't know.
See, well, I mean, like I said before, that's where it goes into that communication. Like if I'm feeling you like that, you know, we have a great vibe. You know, we're great together. My parents are definitely, they'll know about you, but like it'll have to be something where it's like real significant to where I'm bringing around my family. And like I said, man, like, a year is not enough for me because you don't know a person in a year.
Okay, hold up. So when we say bring around the family, we're talking about like a big gathering or just your immediate?
Man, I feel like honestly,
I'm talking about like Thanksgivings, Christmases, stuff like that. I don't know. Was that what you were?
I think honestly, I think that person will probably meet my parents before they meet the entire family.
Okay, cool.
Because if you can't get past my parents, you're not meeting my family.
And I like how you said that though. You was like, man, my peoples, they'll know of you, but as far as like actually meeting you, because I feel
that's
like
a big difference.
It's a big difference, you know. Like your parents be knowing of a lot of people that they didn't mess with or talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like your parents won't ever think whoever you're dealing with is serious until they actually like meet them. You know what I'm saying? Face to face. So yeah.
I think that at the end of the day, and this is what really Juwan is kind of pointing to. In order to meet my parents, that's kind of like okay, you've hit this accolade. You know, like that's a really big deal. And Juwan's standard of 2 years is actually a good thing. I don't know if I've ever abided by that, but it's actually a good thing because it's a privilege to really meet my people. Like, it's a privilege for you to be around my family, for me to open myself up to you to that point. And not everybody should be granted that luxury. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. I don't want to meet the chick's parents after like a couple, you know what I'm saying? After a couple months.
Exactly. That is exactly why. Because, you know, if that girl is feeling you and you're not necessarily feeling her and you meet her parents, man, the parents gonna be coming at your neck with questions. Hey, you know, what are your plans? What's next? And it's like, hey, I'm not necessarily thinking about that right now. I'm still trying to get to know this person.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't hit that on the parents.
Yeah, hit the parents, but it adds another pressure that
adds pressure.
Right now.
It adds pressure.
True.
That dad's gonna smack the shit out of you.
Oh, so my daughter ain't good for you? Oh,
like see, the thing is, that's not what I'm necessarily saying. It's just like, man, you really just want to sit down and actually get to know the person because, man, I mean, it's so many factors that goes to that I can get into. Man, it can deal with, you know, age. You know, you can talk to a person for so long, but you know, if you guys aren't necessarily ready, if you don't have that mindset to be, you know, to push forward and move forward, you know, with that type of stuff, man, it's gonna create some tension. It's gonna be awkward, and you never know, you could be missing out on a great person because you're rushing things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Timing is a big thing. I also feel like y'all ever meet somebody's family and you kind of like regret it. You're just like, dang, I don't even really just feel chick like this.
I was out here just meeting everybody.
Shit. Let me not say shit. But anyway, I like the family, yo. But I do believe that it has to be like a standard time in order to meet somebody's family. Now, like I said, I don't know if 2 years. 2 years is great, and I think I would, going forward, use that as a standard. But I know in my previous life, I can't tell you that it was 2 years. It was definitely around that yearish mark, and I'm good with families. Oh, little cousin TT, come on down.
Well, honestly, man. Besides meeting the family, you really got to pass the test with my friends first.
Yeah,
you got to pass. You got to pass the test with my boys. If you don't get past my boys,
I ain't gonna lie.
But my boys be wild.
I feel you, but I low key don't give a damn. If I like you, I like you.
Don't do that.
About as far as like my homies.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Nah, man, your homies.
It's a big deal, but bro, if I like the girl, I don't care about what they have to say.
Family's a bigger deal.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my family is more important.
Family's a bigger deal, but they're not an immediate deal. Your friends is like more.
You're right there.
They're right there with you.
What if they have like weird reasons as to why they don't like her?
But see, here's the thing.
See, they might have some back to what we were talking about earlier. They may have some information that we don't know about.
And also be mindful that like everybody, like, all your friends are not gonna just gel with your significant other. Like I'm sure, you know what I'm saying. Like, what if your significant other is just not friendly like that?
No.
Your friend ain't gonna just be besties with her.
But here's the thing. and going back to what Juwan said about they might have some information, they don't have to be best friends with her. But as long as my friends are gonna be like, nah, I don't really like. We're not really the same, type of person. But I know that she really rocks with him. So for that reason, I rock with her. Now, if your true friend knows that and they still kind of don't rock with her just based off of maybe some external information that they know, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like if they're like, okay, she's a known cheater, you know what I mean? Like, or she's a known this or known that. That's why I don't rock with her. She's a cool chick, but she's
like,
just
you're not finna be out here playing my boy.
But yo, it's some situations where it be like, man, the friend probably don't really like the girl that much because she just don't be hella friendly with them. Like she'll come in the house, she don't really say what's up to nobody. She just she just be dry, and that's just probably just how she is, Okay. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't feel like you should just be like, you got to pass the homie test because it's a lot of reasons as to why your friend.
See, at the same time, they could be that way, but honestly, I feel like that only works out in cases when you've already been with that person ahead of time.
Okay, I see what you mean. Like down the line?
Yeah. Like if you've been with that person, been messing with that person for a very, very long time, and your friends are still like, I don't really rock her. Be like, nah, y'all don't really know her. Like I know her.
Yeah.
I know her really well. But like I said, if you've just been talking to her for a couple months, and your boy is like, bro, so you need to get rid of her. Then I'm gonna start reconsidering something. My perspective is gonna change.
Yeah. So Juwan brings up a good point. He's saying like if you've known, or even better yet, if you've known the girl really longer than you've known the homies. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So then that's like then I'm not going to take your opinion and put a lot of, weight into it. But if we just started kicking it and you're already giving me red flags about her, like, then you got to kind of put some weight onto that. Because if she's being dry to the homies, what's she going to be to your family? Oh, just an angel?
I feel like it's a lot different. Because, your significant other is not out here to have a personal relationship with your friends, you know what I'm saying? Unless they're just, cool. Those type of people, you know what I'm saying? Or they know each other. But your family, though, like, she has to have a personal relationship with them because
she can't rock with her family.
Your family's about to become her family, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why.
I guess it's different for me because I put friendship. Little backstory on myself. I didn't come here. My parents are from Nigeria, obviously. So we didn't come to the States with just mad cousins with us or mad, just people with us. The friends that I've had, like the close friends I've had them since I was born. So I pretty much put the weight of family on them as well because I've known them all 17, 18. And you're the same way, you know what I'm saying? So like you don't have to be like buddy with my friends, but a lot of my friends who aren't buddy with my girls, they're like, okay, she's not the coolest. We can't just joke around with her like that, but she really rocks with Vic, so she gets a green light for me. Okay.
The reason why, like I said, like you kind of got to pass that test with your friends first, because with your guy friends, even girlfriends, I mean. You're gonna be a different way around your friends than you are with her, and I don't think it should be like that. I feel like you should be able to be comfortable regardless of where you are at. You don't think so?
Nah,
you don't think so?
Your pops is not the same way with his friends in front of your mom. It's never gonna be that way. It's never.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing about. That's the beauty of it, man. If you can still be comfortable and cool. I mean, of course you go when you with your guys, you're gonna be a fool. You're gonna do crazy stuff. But it's like if you can still have your girl around and still somewhat be the same way, and all your friends like if you're. How many people do you know that like got friends and like your girl knows that they're a fool? They're like, y'all go out and they're absolutely okay with it. They're like, oh, that boy's a fool, and they laugh at it. They laugh at it. They're like, man, man, that's cool, bro. Because I mean, you don't have to act a certain way. You don't have to act a different way.
He's got Juwan for the win. We get it, dude. You're the next Obama. Get out of here. No, but to kind of round everything up, that is kind of a very big point. I would like her to be cool with all of us, like me and my friends, because I want to grow up. I want to have that family where I can just invite the homies over, get the pick going. You invite the kids out of it, I'll bring the kids. I want to have that kind of relationship, and it's hard to have that when wifey's not really just jiving with the friends like that. But at the same time, the family is way more. Obviously, I just feel like with the friends, it's like round one of the playoffs. You feel me? Like, it's round one of the playoffs. All right, you got to get through this round, or it's win or go home. It's win or go home. Even though it's not necessarily go home, it's still like a little bit of a red flag. And it might even take me if you don't drive with my friends, it might take me a little bit longer for me to introduce you to my people.
And with the friends thing too, like being mindful, she's gonna meet your friends more times than none. Of course, of your parents, but like let's say you go out, oh, I brought my homie with me, meet my partner. Oh, I brought my other homie with me, you know what I'm saying? She gonna meet them more.
Yeah.
So
and that's why
just a quick note too for ladies. Ladies, do realize that if you were cool with his friends and his friends are gassing you to him, he'll be more likely to move towards that next step.
Yeah. Yeah.
If your friends is like, bro, she live, man. Like, you need to keep her. Exactly. You keep her.
I'm a big supporter,
you may get what you want a lot sooner than you expected.
And not only that, ladies, I ain't gonna lie, there's gonna be some times where we feel like being a little, and the friends that rock with you, that hold it down for you, they gonna be like, nah, bro, you got wifey at the crib, don't do it.
Exactly.
Okay, that's one thing I can say. When you a girl and you plugged in with his homies like really good,
you good.
Yeah, like they might save a lot of arguments that y'all can have.
Because I got a lot of friends that have like girls who I really like. I'm like, okay, nah, she good for him, so I ain't gonna let him do no dumb stuff right now.
It'd be like, bro, normally I'll let you go do the food tonight, but
exactly.
Your girl lie, but like she good, but she a good person. Don't do it like that.
And then the girls I don't rock with, I'm gonna be like, bro, come on, let's go. We got two shorties right here trying to bust it. So ladies, be very mindful on how you treat the homies. But with that being said, that is the entertainment part of the podcast. We're at the end of the podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, this is so sad. I know, Juwan, where else you going? Panama? Hawaii?
I actually got Florida, and I got Las Vegas, and then I got Hawaii coming.
Somebody get this guy out of my face. All right, this is the end of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening with us. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, go ahead and tweet us. The descriptions are below. Hashtag for any other comments on Twitter at the Library Podcast. That's hashtag the Library Podcast. And keep on listening if you do enjoy us. Go ahead and send a like, send a subscribe over our way. We highly appreciate all the love that we've been getting. Till next time, folks. Peace, love, happiness. We out.